Welcome to yet another episode of Johnny TV. I am your host. Well, come on, you know exactly who I am by now. I have a lot of questions that have been asked of me. So let's just get it out of the way. The number one question in everyone's mind: why? Is this even pointing at me? We'll assume it is, and then if it's not, then it's all going to change ways. The question is why, after insisting, swearing up and down, that I was not going to be part of Savannah's team at the Great Canadian Bash, did I wind up just going out there and pummeling the crap out of Bobby McQuaid? Well, things aren't always the way you see them. I had to do that for several reasons. Number one, let's face it, I hate Savannah Madison. I think she's the worst thing to ever happen in professional wrestling. But so is Ozzy McQuaid. Ozzy McQuaid has had no intention of doing anything with the PSW. And the more time that went by that Savannah Madison was in charge and he wasn't, the more his feelings became clear to everyone. So he wasn't going to be there for much longer anyway. I'm going to have to deal with Savannah Madison, but I don't have to deal with Ozzy McQuaid. Now he's gone. Gone for good. Now Savannah Madison has to run the company by herself. Which, yes, I do see as a problem, because the last time she did it by herself, anytime she'd go on one of her little personal, whatever you want to call them, leaves of absences, the company went down the tubes. And it will keep on doing that until we get a reliable, consistent person in charge. Still not convinced this is looking straight at me. So I'm gonna sit up here. So never mind if you just caught like the top of my head or the bottom of my head or whatever. But why did I sell out? Well, again, I had to sell out. I had to sell out because everyone was saying, oh, Johnny Bone Crusher, you're too predictable. Oh, Johnny Bone Crusher this, Johnny Bone Crusher that. Regardless of the fact that I constantly am the only person that shocks the crap out of you, still unpredictable. Unpredictable because that's all I do, is shock people. So when you shock people too much, they predict it, they expect it. But no one expected this. Oh, people will say, oh, I expected this all along. Like they think there's some big-time mark. Well, too bad, because you didn't expect it. Because you weren't supposed to expect it. But as far as I'm concerned, I didn't sell out. I don't work for Savannah Madison. I work in her company. I'm not Jade Madison, her little lackey sister. I'm not Tony Godfrey, the paper world heavyweight champion. And I'm not saying that because Cruiser said that, because I don't care what Cruiser has to say. Because Cruiser's always been a paper champion as well. I'm tired of seeing paper champions. And if I beat Tony Godfrey for the umpteenth time for the title, people will call me a paper champion. There'll be no merit in those words. They'll have no actual explanation for it, but I'll still be one. So I don't want it. I don't want the world title anymore. I've already gotten it twice. once in a serious ring. The second time I was just like, yeah, go ahead, Whiteman, you can have it back. I don't care. I just wanted to prove a point. I proved a point both times. Number one, no one expected me to beat Damien Darko for the World Heavyweight title, or whatever the hell it was called back then. No one expected it. They should have expected it. I have more experience than Damien Darko. He's just a one-trick pony. He's just a gimmick, a fad. A fad that PSW had back then, once upon a time. The goth fad. The scary monster fad. This is the year 2007. It's not 2004 anymore. After that point, all the little gothy, dark, monstery characters were just tossed into the ocean by yours truly. Now, what does this have to do with anything? Well, I'll get to that in a sec. Let me just talk about my second reign. My second reign, I went out and did exactly what I was going to do. I told Greg Whiteman, you can't beat me, you never will beat me, and he still doesn't beat me to this day. And I took his title away from him, and I ruined his streak, because I don't care what Ozzy McQuaid said, he's not here anymore. I broke the streak. He is not the longest reigning champion, as far as I'm concerned. Who is? I don't know, but it's not Greg Whiteman. And he's not around to defend himself. Because he took his ball and he went to a stupid little promotion called Asylum, or The Asylum, if you want to be technical. A place that's dying even worse than the PSW is. And I don't know. He was just fed up with something, but we just don't know what. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. The point is that since day one, I've been doing things to get to Savannah Menace. Her little boyfriend at the time is Damien Darko. As far as I know, I'm pretty certain I'm right, because I usually am. So I got to her through him. He became scared of me because he knew what a big threat I was, so he just stopped showing up. He stopped showing up for matches. The only matches he were in were the ones where he had to square up against me, and he said, I don't want any more